It's time for the first major of the season, the PBA World Championship. And as it should be, the best are here to compete, including 32-time PBA titleist Parker Bohn III. Incredibly, Bohn has only one major victory in his Hall of Fame career. Could he get another at the age of 49? From Las Vegas, the PBA World Championship starts now.
Superstorm Sandy had happened days before he was leaving.
I'm not going to leave my family at home without any power. Of course I wanted to bowl. I mean, it's one of the biggest events of the year.
After the devastation that was happening in the hometown, we were just like, okay, we want to get out of here.
He had just made match play, qualifying 24th, and then got all the way up to 5th for the show and wasn't in the show until game 24 of match play.
The whole family was there.
Unquestionable. It's the biggest moment of my career.
Parker Bohn is trying to become just the 15th player in PBA history to qualify in 24th place in round-robin match play and move all the way to the show and win.
All right, opening up this championship match, Parker Bohn, who almost bowled a 300 in the previous match, still has it.
The Frankenstorm.
Hurricane Sandy hammered the Bahamas early Friday after leaving 21 dead across the Caribbean.
This is a serious and big storm.
It's been the biggest storm that we've had on the East Coast since then, for sure.
My sister called me and she said, hey, have you been watching the storm? And I said, no, not really. She goes, you guys need to be prepared. You're going to get hit pretty hard.
I don't even want to call it a hurricane. Little did we all know it would turn into what everyone knew it as, Superstorm Sandy.
I also remember everybody not thinking about the storm being serious.
Been downgraded to a tropical storm and then very quickly became a Category 1 storm again. The forecasted track started as a normal hurricane would follow the Atlantic seaboard and then turn out into the ocean. As the storm got closer, this left turn into the coastline became more and more probable. 2 days before landfall, we became very, very worried that that was going to be how the storm was going to move.
So I called Parker and I said, hey, Chrissy said we need to be prepared for this storm. He's like, we never get storms. They always say this. I've lived here my whole life. There's no need to worry.
This morning, I formally declared a state of emergency in anticipation of Hurricane Sandy. We should not underestimate the impact of this storm, and we should not assume the predictions will be wrong.
People were telling us, they were like, oh, you totally need generators, go out and buy them. And the stores in New Jersey had completely sold out of them. So we had to go to Pennsylvania to get a generator.
So first Home Depot, no generator. Second Home Depot, no generator. Third stop, Lowe's, no generator. So I called my sister. She goes, all right, I have one and I will meet you.
East Coast grinding to a halt as Hurricane Sandy prepares to make landfall.
And I drove north 2 hours. She drove south 2 hours. We met and I picked up a generator. Thank goodness, because it hit in the middle of the night. And when we woke up the next morning, we were without power.
Next thing you know, it's raining and the wind is blowing the house and the trees outside. And
Tonight, Hurricane Sandy coming ashore on the East Coast.
This is a massive storm.
One of the largest this country has seen.
Hurricane Sandy crashing on shore, winds now at 90 miles per hour, and this storm is so big, so vast, 60 million Americans will feel its power.
Sitting in my kitchen that day, I'm watching the tips of the trees 10 feet from the ground, and 30 or 40 seconds later, watching them completely bent the other way 10 feet from the ground, and thinking, oh my God, there is utter devastation up and down the Jersey Shore.
Massive destruction at the Jersey Shore from the ground level. So much of that iconic beach town of Seaside Heights is underwater, full of debris there.
Our neighborhood was upside down. We had family and friends that were 30 minutes away, that their houses were completely flooded and gone.
This morning, New Jersey's Seaside Heights, a city synonymous with summer fun, is now a city completely submerged. From the air, destruction as far as the eye can see, fires smoldering, some still burning even after the worst winds had passed.
We were the only ones in the neighborhood with a generator. Almost every night, half of the neighborhood would come over. We'd have 5 or 6 families. We'd sit there, we'd make them food because they didn't really have anything to eat. It was really interesting to feel that community come together after such a devastating storm.
when you think about how lucky and fortunate we were throughout the hurricane, It was like everything happened for a reason. Our neighbor lost 10 trees, and 2 of his trees actually went through the next door neighbor's cars. And all we had to do was pick up branches in a trash can for 20 minutes. I'm not the one to make up Dad's mind, but I feel like the 3 of us and Mom kind of, pushed him along to say, hey, Dad, we think you should go bowl.
Everybody wants to go out and bowl the majors, especially when the season's starting off. But when I look around at home and I see what's going on, I'm going to say utter devastation for our area, and we don't really know what's going on 5 or 10 miles from us, which is really catastrophic.
So you're thinking, like, how can he even get there? It's in Las Vegas, so it's not like it's around the corner. Certainly if the roads open up, it wasn't like he could drive there. He definitely needed to fly.
All of a sudden, power gets turned back on. Comes back on miraculously. I talk to Leslie, we sit down and try to figure it out. Even though I haven't practiced, I'll go out to the event.
We made the decision, as long as we had heat and I had food, I was fine. I could do this.
Mom had enough help that she could deal with the kids on her own. And Dad went away, and I was like, okay, like, I know he needs to make the money, but we just had this big storm, and why is he going away? When he did go away, Mom was like, okay, well, if he makes the show, we can possibly fly out to Vegas. I was like, oh, I'm fine with that. What is a 6-year-old gonna do in Vegas, So
he flies out to Vegas, and the very next day, we had a snowstorm. Now we have 10 to 12 inches of snow.
The snowstorm had hit days before match play had started. So we still weren't in school. We didn't have any power at all at the house.
It was just insane. And that was a winter wonderland to be a kid and have that much snow.
It's on the major news every single morning. What's going on? The first round of the event is going to be the following day after I've showed up. We're 1 event in, and I missed a cut. The second day we bowl the event, I missed a cut again.
He missed all of practice and then made none of the animal pattern cuts at the World Series that year.
Speaking of missing something, Parker almost missed today's show. He beat out Indiana's Craig Lamont in qualifying by just 3 pins for the 24th and final spot in round-robin match play.
I bowled the last day, and I bowl, and I'm trying to do the best I can. Come up a little bit short once again, but when they make the announcement and make the cut, I find myself 24th place going into the World Championship. Miraculously.
I vividly remember watching match play at that event. The snowstorm had hit days before match play had started.
Our house didn't have power, so we couldn't watch extra frames. So we called my father-in-law. We took my laptop over to his house.
I just remember getting to Grandpa's house, the very first game of the last round, and I watched shot for shot, and he bowled 300. Upstairs, I ran downstairs, and I screamed at my mom. Oh my God, Dad just bowled 300. Like, he is cooking. And he's gonna make it, and he's got 7 more games left.
We were living and dying with every shot. Every shot. He hadn't won a title in almost 5 years.
So the boys are glued in. He's gonna make it, he's gonna make it. Come on, Mom, we gotta go, we gotta go. I'm like, you guys, we have a long way to go with bonus pins and everything, so we'll just keep watching throughout the night.
I don't care what place I'm in or how I'm bowling overall. You know I'm gonna give it my all. There's obviously a chance here, but we need everything to fall into the right place. You start off the first game of match play in the 3rd round where you bowl 300 and you can't plan for that. Now, with 7 games left of match play, I'm a contender.
I just knew he needed to bowl well the last game, and later in the match, he leaves a 5-10, and he ended up making it and snuck in to the 5 spot. And we're losing our mind at Grandpa's house, and now we're trying to figure out, all right, how quickly can we get there?
I got enough pins to qualify 5th, and I could not believe that I just accomplished going from 24th to 5th in the World Championship of all tournaments.
Parker called after he got done bowling, after his media commitments, and called us and said, hey, I got the 4 of you on a plane in the morning.
But I definitely remember going to Vegas, going to South Point, and taking in the whole experience. We didn't know how much longer that he had still on the professional tour. So we knew that it was like, okay, we're gonna take advantage of this, and destiny was on his side the entire week for him to get to that point.
There are his kids. He has 5 children. They're all so excited for Dad.
There was something special about this one. What we had been through in Parker fashion, it was just what he was supposed to do.
The lights were really bright, super hot. Dad's bowling. I remember seeing the trophy and I thought it was the prettiest thing ever.
My dad is my hero, my role model, all in one. There's no other person in the world that I'd rather watch bowl.
We all got to be there, and it was probably the first title that we actually remember.
It's been about 2 years since I've been on one of the actual telecasts, and it's kind of sad. You know, you're walking away, I don't want to say with your head down, but you're like shrugging your shoulders, looking around, you know, and you got to put your hands in the air and look in the mirror and go, what's the deal?
I'm looking at the fact that Parker's going to be bowling on TV and do the best I can, because now we're not in the bowling center. We're in a special arena setup that's, well, it's right up the hallway, right in South Point.
If he gets through this first match, he's going to have the advantage going into the second match against Rhino, another left-hander. He's going to have an idea of what both lanes are doing.
Anytime that you're in the first match, regardless whether you're fourth or fifth, if you've got 4 games in any step-ladder finals, you need to have a lot of stars in the line.
Parker Bohn III will advance into the next round of this PBA World Championship. His kids will stick around to cheer him on. He will meet Rhino Page in the next round.
I believe in my heart the match that I bowled with Rhino Page was sincerely survival of the fittest.
I think that the game that was somebody else's to win was probably Rhino's. That was the game that Rhino was probably supposed to win, because he had better ball reaction to get to the pocket, because when Dad got to the pocket, all he was doing was getting 9.
Parker Bohn continuing his travels to another major, leaves the 7.
It's going to be interesting to watch how the lanes transition now that there's 2 southpaws going at it
Rhino
head-to-head.
had good ball reaction. Dad didn't. But the thing was, when Rhino missed, he missed.
He knew that right out of the hand.
You don't want to throw things off to the side by trying something, I'll say outlandish, that turns into an open that you've literally handed your match over to your opponent on a silver platter.
Right. He was going for broke, and that's what he came up with.
I needed a marking attempt to win the game, and Rhino had missed a single pin. He went 5-0 on a double. I mean, that's 20 or 30 pins right there between just those 2 shots.
When I threw my first shot in the 10th, and I'm watching it go down the lane, I'm thinking, oh, well, it's got a chance.
9 to win. He got them all! Parker Bohn III comes through big time when they needed it most. Way to go, Dad. Nice match, Rhino Page. It was tough going. Parker Bohn moves through. He will meet Sean Rash when we come back.
It was immediate at that time that my ball rep, Chuck Gardner, who works for Brunswick, he said, hey, look, you've got another one of these balls. We drilled it a little bit different. I think you need to try it now.
When he makes a ball change, it's with 100% confidence. And if he knows that his look is changing and he needs to do something to continue on his pursuit to winning, he's going to make it happen.
Up with a strike.
You got to make a confident pass when you're going after it. But when we started the very next match, I made one good shot after another, and then it capitalized and rolled into the front 7. Did I see that coming? 100% I did not see that happening. But if you believe in yourself and you believe in what you're doing on the lanes, I want to try to make the best of it. And the only way to make the best of it is put the ball in my hand and try to make the best possible shot I can, again, again, and again.
Sean Rash's mindset right now is, I can't miss.
Wheel. Oh, and a killer ball. And Rash full well knows the consequences of that. Come on.
He's gotten all the way to this point, and you're like, how does it not go his way with missing practice, with barely getting to match play, barely getting to the show? How does momentum stop him at this point? It can't.
No matter what is going on around him, no matter what the situation is, no matter what the event is, he steps up on the approach and wants to make the best shot possible that he can make.
There is the #1 seed waiting in the wings. Jason Belmonte. We'll soon meet this left-hander, Parker Bohn III. So it is official, and those kids will stick around to see a finale, and maybe their dad will bring home another title.
I am now bowling for the title. There's nobody else. It's me against Belmo. I've said for a long time, his strike ball is second to nobody on tour.
It works. He's doing what he needs to do.
Belmo at the time, he didn't have a major. He just came off 2 other shows that he lost, unfortunately. And now this is like his get back. He can't lose 3 in a row, can he?
He had led the tournament all week. He had dominated the World Series, and you know that his ball hits way harder than Dad's. No offense to Dad, but he's almost 50 at this point.
With the 4-bagger, and we have a championship match for you.
I can't determine what Belmo is going to do at that moment in time. Not one shot, not the first frame, not the 10th frame. All I can do is try to create the best score possible for Parker Bohn and let things unfold the way that they would.
The only thing I feel like I remember from the whole Belmo match was the 9th frame.
I get up in the 9th frame and I throw the ball off my hand and I go, it seems like it's a little firm. And I watch my head pin go to the wall and come off the wall and roll out the 3-pin. I can't believe this is happening in front of my eyes.
He mentioned destiny could be on his side, and that strike right there underscores that point.
I think the roll 3 in the 9th was easily just the sign of all destiny was on his side the entire event. It was his event to win.
When I roll out a 3-pin and I sit down and I go, oh my God, I have absolute control of this match going into the 10th frame. And now he has to get up and do anything or something to make me even perform.
Jason Belmonte will do all he can to make Parker work for him. 7th, and that is it.
Well, Parker just needs to stay behind the foul line and keep it on the lanes, but you're going to see a lot of emotions here.
You get chills thinking about how crucial that hit was in that game, and ultimately was, I think, the hit that won the tournament.
First TV appearance since 2 seasons ago. Now just 7 pins away from his 2nd major. Destiny was on his side.
Now I can look back at the story and go, Superstorm Sandy, not sure if I'm going, then I go, miss practice, bowl the event, sneak in at 24th, sneak into the top 5, big snowstorm hits at home, my family flies out, and now I've just captivated the biggest title of my career. It's past a feel-good story.
He just like swarmed us. That was probably the coolest thing that I've ever been a part of.
When he hugged us, it was like, he got the trophy! He got the trophy that we all wanted.
I think it taught them so much about determination and confidence and desire and the will to win. And just watching, this is my dad. This is my dad doing what my dad loves to do. It fills my heart.
We had gone through some tough times at home with all the weather that had gone on, and to have that much success in our family was really cool and really special.
And it's just a lot of good things that's happened. I got good karma with me, and you can't say enough when you put it all together.
And your lovely wife, Leslie, is right here. We saw you guys cheering him on through all the matches. How proud are you of this guy right here?
This is amazing. He has worked so hard, and to see him put it all together this week, I mean, definitely performs when there's more games on the line, and this was a true testament to his ability.
Yes, it was. Congratulations. Parker Bohn III finds himself with his 2nd major.
When you can win a tournament of that magnitude with your family sitting in the front row, with your kids old enough to remember it, it's the biggest moment of my career.
Parker Bohn III enjoying the spoils of victory after capturing the PBA World Championship here at South Point.